Okay. So let's unpack this today. We're looking at a piece that really masquerades as a simple ghost story, I guess.
Yeah, but if you scratch the surface, it's actually a pretty profound manual on cognitive psychology.
Right. The source we're diving into is a narrative called In the Depths of the Night. And just to, set the scene for you, we're starting on a rain-slicked bridge in the dead of night.
With a young man who is ready to end his life, he's gripping the wet iron railings and he's trembling. But our mission for this deep dive is to sort of strip away that heavy noir atmosphere.
Exactly. We want to look at the actual mechanism of his breakthrough, specifically how he shifts from just thinking to true awareness.
Because the protagonist here is not just sad, he is in a state of total cognitive narrowing. He is ready to jump into...
The roaring river below.
Yeah.
And usually in these kinds of narratives, you expect some kind of physical intervention, right? Like a tackle or a police siren.
Right. Instead, he gets a pattern interrupt. Just as he's about to jump, this old man appears out of nowhere. Deep wrinkles, worn clothes, but with this really intense, glowing gaze.
And he doesn't plead with the boy or preach to him. He is carrying this massive bundle of white jasmine and red roses, and he just asks for a small favor.
Yeah, he claims his knees are shot. He asks the young man to carry the flowers down the wet stone steps to a riverside Shiva temple.
It's a brilliant psychological pivot. I mean, if the old man had just said, "Don't jump," the boy would have debated him.
Absolutely. By asking for help, he forces the boy's brain to switch tracks, from internal despair to external agency.
And the boy actually agrees. He thinks to himself like, I'll do one last good deed in my final 10 minutes.
And that agreement is the wedge in the door. As they start walking down the steps, the old man uses this window to hold up a mirror to the boy.
Right, he reveals his backstory. He wasn't always a flower seller. He used to be this wealthy, corrupt toll collector taking bribes from every truck.
Until it all collapsed. He lost his job, his reputation, and his family left him.
And here is where it gets really interesting. He confesses that he stood on that exact same bridge, intending to do the exact same thing.
That shared vulnerability establishes immediate trust, and the old man shares the core insight that saved him. He says that in that moment of terror, his mind just stopped churning.
He introduces what psychologists might call the observer self, right?
Precisely. He tells the boy the mind is a factory for thoughts like, you're a failure or it's over. But he uses a metaphor. Thoughts are clouds.
And the self is the sky.
Yes, the sky. Clouds are transient. They turn dark, they storm, they change shape. But the sky doesn't change. It just holds the weather.
The old man's lesson is that the boy is not the storm. He is the space in which the storm is happening.
And that distinction is often called cognitive diffusion. It's the realization that the I, listening to the voice in your head, is not the same entity as the voice itself.
So they reach the bottom of the steps. There's a small stone temple there. The old man takes the flowers inside to offer them and asks the boy to wait 5 minutes.
And the rain stops. The boy stands there practicing what he just learned. He watches his negative thoughts pass like clouds rather than engaging with them.
He is finally dissociated from the drama in his head. But then we hit the narrative twist.
10 minutes pass. No sign of the old man. The boy walks into the inner sanctum.
Then it is totally empty.
Just a black Shivalinga, a flickering lamp, and the fresh flowers offered around it.
No back door, no windows. The old man has physically vanished.
It leaves it totally ambiguous. Was it a divine intervention or just a projection of his own psyche fighting to survive?
And the story argues that it really doesn't matter. The external reality is exactly the same. The river is still roaring. His life is still in shambles.
But when the boy walks out, he isn't drowning in the river of his thoughts anymore.
He is standing on the bank.
That is the closing analogy. The river flows. That is the mind, the emotions, the chaos. But the awareness that is you is the bank.
It observes the flow but doesn't get swept away by it. So he walks back up to the bridge, not because his problems are solved, but because his relationship to them has fundamentally shifted.
He's no longer fused with the narrative of failure. It's a powerful reminder that we usually suffer more in our imagination than in reality.
It really is. Yeah. So it brings us to a practical challenge for you listening. The next time a negative emotion feels monolithic or absolute, like it's the only truth, can you try to step back?
Right. Instead of being the cloud, can you focus on being the sky?
It's the difference between being lost in the movie and realizing you're just sitting in the theater. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.